Welcome to the arena.
Big battlefield.
We're back with a whole new episode of two straight white guys.
Let's go.
Yep. Just two Republicans sitting here talking shit about ethnic people. That's what we do here.
Easy with the Republican. I am not a Republican.
Oh, man. If you don't know about our podcast, it is a history podcast, but we also incorporate humor. Please do not, for the love of Satan, take this seriously, other than the information
No.
from the historical standpoint. But anything I say,
Right.
we're not saying slurs. You know, we don't hate the Middle East. We love them. They're great. Big hummus fan. Actually, I had garlic hummus the other day. I will put that on everything. Sorry,
That's
Jewish
the
people.
Mediterranean.
Oh, but they love it there. You go to the Middle East, there's hummus on every table. Yeah. You know what I mean? French fries are from France. It's on every street corner in the South. The Midwest, you cannot get a meal without French fries.
Yeah, that's true.
What are you doing? Oh, you're petting the dog. Jesus, man. You got to be careful what you're doing with your hands on a video chat. Yeah, I'm having flashbacks of church over here. Oh, my God. Sorry I didn't read the Bible. I'm sorry. I'll read the chapter next time. Don't tell my friends. I want to be cool. So what are we getting into today?
Oh my God, that's hilarious. You're going to love it, dude. You're going to love it. We're going to Scotland. Medieval Scotland. We're doing July 27th.
July 27th.
July 27th, 1054. We're doing the Battle of Dunsinane.
You went July 27th. Right. Oh my God, dude. I felt like I was in a truck stop bathroom and you opened up the door while I was going to the bathroom. Never going back to Alabama again. Never going back to Huntsville.
Oh, God. Roll Tide. Roll Tide. So this one is about Macbeth. All right?
Okay.
You're going to love it because it's Scotland. And we are somewhere near the Firth of Forth. And this battle is called the Battle of Dunsinane.
Dun, 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 dun.
So the first thing I got to get out of the way is that when you hear Macbeth, you think Shakespeare, okay? And we're not starting with Shakespeare. This is an actual ruler, okay? I know when everybody hears Macbeth, they immediately think witches and daggers and like these guilty hallucinations and the moving forests.
Right.
There's a famous quote called "Out, damn spot," right? And a guy trying to like rules lawyer childbirth at the end of the play. But
I thought you were talking.
That's
I
not.
thought you were talking about like a laundry detergent company. Out damn spot. Spot removal.
That's actually a great idea. Creating spot removal called Macbeth. That would be actually really cool.
So we're not starting with Shakespeare, okay? We are starting with the real man, okay? Macbeth, the King of Scotland, known in Gaelic as Macbeth mac Finlach.
I like the
And
English version better.
the real Macbeth.
A lot easier to say.
It's easier to say.
Come
A
again?
hell of a lot easier to say. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm just looking for the castle on a tour here.
Exactly. Now, the real Macbeth was not some trembling psycho in a crown that wandered into power because his wife talked him into doing a murder. Okay. He was a real king in the 11th century, and he ruled Scotland, or more properly, Alba, for 17 years. A
Jessica.
17. That's
Yeah.
important.
17 years. Oh, I just said Jessica when you said Alba. I got Tourette's, dude.
Oh, Jessica Alba is, she is
Nice
a different
lady.
kind of beautiful, man. Oof.
Very nice lady.
Nice gal.
Sweet. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Only respectable thoughts when I think about her.
So, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Why would they be anything else?
No, I picture her painting a face and waving to the neighbors and taking her dog for a walk. That's all I think about when I see Jessica Alba in a swimsuit.
That's it.
That's it.
And here come the lawsuits.
I definitely haven't looked up AI
So,
pictures of her.
gross.
Definitely haven't looked up an AI photo of her with the whole football team in the locker room after the championship game.
Oh my God.
She's got a helmet on.
Oh my God, man. I am too stoned for this. Oh my God. So 17 years is a long time. Okay. You don't hold a medieval throne in Northern Britain for 17 years by being a little Shakespearean, like, murder gremlin who spends the entire reign spiraling into a candlelit hallway. Okay. The
17
real
years
Macbeth was a
with no underwear on, just a kilt. Chafing.
dude, the freedom.
Yeah, but not in the winter. It gets cold and all that cold breeze goes up there and
That's,
yeah, not good. Not
that's
good.
true. That's true.
Mrs. Macbeth looks lifts it up and goes, "Oh my God, where'd it go?" Looks like a mushroom coming out of the ground, like a baby one.
His
Did I
wife
take
looks
it?
at it and goes, "Oh, looks like mine."
What happened to it? Did a witch cast a spell on you? This would be great in haggis.
Oh,
Our producer just threw up
yeah.
editing this. He's like, I
Yes,
regret
he
taking these
did.
guys on.
He's trying to find ways out of the contract now. Oh man. So Macbeth was a political survivor. Okay, he was a warrior, and he came out of the powerful northern world of Moray. He overthrew a rival king in battle. Okay. He held power long enough to pilgrimage to Rome, which
Oh,
tells us that his kingship was stable enough that he could leave and expect the kingdom not to explode the second he got on the road, right?
that just means he has good assistant managers. You know?
100%. Yep.
Yeah,
100%.
yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
like his assistant coaches are stepping into the role. Yeah.
Right. The Weiss might take a couple blows, but he doesn't need to know about that. I miss thy king. I need thy throne and thy clam.
Hocking, locking, blocking.
Oh gosh. Oh no.
All right. So today's story is not Macbeth becomes evil and gets what he deserves. That is Shakespeare's moral universe. Today's story is a lot messier. It's about succession politics and English intervention. It's about a powerful northern earl named Siward, the Earl of Northumbria, marching into
Seaward?
Scotland with a serious army. Siward, yeah.
Yeah, well, we could say it here. Right? Can't we? Or is it just bad to say that?
The C word.
Yeah, his name was cunt, but it offended everyone. So he's like, "Can you change it to C word?" I'm trying to go on a date here. Every time I say my name, she leaves dinner. I've paid for so many haggises.
Oh my God. That's so fucking funny. Oh my God. C word. I didn't put that together. Holy shit, dude. That's funny. That's funny. Um, so it's also about Malcolm Canmore, the son of the King Macbeth, defeated years earlier, waiting for his chance. And it's about a battle that later, histories plants near the Dunsinane Hill in Perthshire. All right. Now, I'm going to back up a little bit. Okay. So, to set it up properly, on July 27th, 1054, Siward invades Scotland. He
Okay,
brings a major force. And
okay.
the sources say he comes by land and by sea. He fights Macbeth somewhere north of the Firth of Forth.
That's double
This is all
penetration
starting
right
to
there.
sound like it rhymes.
We're gonna take him from the front and the
Pulled the
back.
old English, the DB.
We're gonna London Bridge him. They're not gonna see what's coming.
Oh, real gross. Real gross. Um, so the battle becomes remembered as Dunsinane, but it's also called the Battle of the Seven Sleepers because it falls on the feast day of the seven sleepers of Ephesus.
It sounds like a Bill Cosby
Now,
story.
the sleepers, dude. These are like, this is like three in a row. It's like 10 out of 10, man. It's fucking hilarious. So this battle becomes one of the historical roots of the most famous Macbeth story in the world. But the real story doesn't behave like the play. Okay, the real story it refuses to be a neat, clean story. All right, and that's why I think it's perfect for the show because Shakespeare gives us prophecy, history gives us the politics. And where we get witches from Shakespeare, history gives us logistics. Okay. Shakespeare gives us a villain collapsing under his guilt. And history gives us rival kings and frontier strategy, family revenge, and this English pressure coming in, and a Scottish throne that is much harder to control than any playwright wants it to be.
Well,
Okay.
Shakespeare
So
read the
we're
history
asked,
and he was like, "This is boring. This is boring. I gotta make it fun." You know, this is
yeah,
stupid.
that's what artists do. That's what artists do.
ADD.
Yeah, exactly. So the questions we're asking ourselves today is what actually happened at Dunsinane? Why did an English earl invade Scotland? Who is the real Macbeth? Who is this C-word guy? Oh, cunty butt. And how the hell did a messy 11th century campaign become one of the most famous tragedies ever written? All right. And that's what we're going to touch on. So before Siward comes marching north, you got to understand the Scotland that he's invading. Okay. And even that is a little dangerous to approach because in 1054, we really should be talking about Alba, okay, not Scotland in the modern sense. Alba was the kingdom that had grown out of earlier Pictish and Gaelic political worlds. It was connected to the old Gaelic kingdom of Dalriada, which linked Western Scotland and Northeastern Ireland. It was shaped by Pictish kings, Norse pressure, the Vikings, or what was left of the Vikings. Um, the church networks, regional lords, and this constant problem of succession politics. Right.
So they're not resting.
This is not a no, no.
They're
They're
getting
not
hit.
just chilling out.
Yeah, it's so constant fear and battles, and they just want to eat
Yeah,
haggis in peace
yeah.
and
It's
have dirty sex, and it's the only culture where the woman lifts up the skirt. You know, he's like, "Can you lift up your skirt?" It's the only culture where the woman's asking the guy to bend down and pick up a pen.
exactly. It's like, don't worry, lass. I'll lift my skirt up so you can pull on my hog.
Oh God, did they take baths back then?
No, I mean,
Was
yes, they did, just not
was
as
was soap
often as we
invented?
do.
Did they have soap?
No,
Oh
not in
God.
the 11th century. They would
Oh my
they would
God.
have other things to try to clean themselves, but it wasn't soap.
They're like, "Hey, I think I found something new. Rub this on your body. It smells good." That's poison ivy, you C word.
I mean, there were types of soap that have been around for millennia, but it's not in the way that we think of it.
Yeah.
They use like ash and oils and animal fat and things like that.
Oh, I would have been a virgin
Yeah.
back then
Yeah.
by choice. Are you gonna
Right.
reproduce C word? No, no, I am never doing that.
Hey, cunt, you gonna have any little cunts?
Absolutely not. Absolutely. And what's the average lifespan of these folks?
About 33.
Okay, unless you're a king.
Yeah, I mean, if you had really good medical care, you might, or good genetics, you do see people living beyond that for sure. But the average lifespan of like just some schmo is it's within the 30s.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, life was rough. I mean, you got to think, right? Like you could get, let's say you were a farmer, and you've been farming for 15 years, you get a little complacent and you slice your hand on some farming equipment, right? And that alone could give you a blood infection that could kill you within weeks. So it's it's really, there's a lot of accidental deaths. A lot of people die early. You get kicked in the head by a horse. I mean, you name it, man. There's 1,000 ways to die if you don't have modern medical care, right?
If you cut
So
your
that
hand,
lowers mortality quite a bit.
if you cut your hand nowadays and died from that, people would laugh at you.
Yeah, they totally make fun of you.
You want to know how your dad died? He cut his hand open and didn't take care of it. What a lazy piece of shit. I'm your stepfather now, by the way. Nice to meet you.
By the way, that's why I'm eating your goldfish and railing your mom.
By the way, you're out of goldfish.
So Scotland is not a neat little medieval nation state. Okay. There was no modern border map with a big sign saying, "Welcome to Scotland." We have centralized bureaucracy. Power depended on kinship, right? That you hear about the clans of Scotland, right? And it depended on regional strength and military followings, right? It depended heavily on the church and who could command loyalty in different parts of the kingdom. And one of the most important regions was Moray. And Moray in northern Scotland was not just some distant edge of the kingdom. It was actually a major power base. And its rulers, oh, hold on. Hold on. Dude, my computer just went completely blank.
You know how someone's high is when they forget to plug in their computer.
I don't know what the fuck is going on. You know what I did? This is how high I am. I plugged my phone charger back into the computer.
Oh my God. You finished college and not me? What the hell is going on here, dude? What is that? This guy's got more degrees than more times than I've had
Oh,
sex, and he's this plugging shit wrong. Please don't ever do surgery on someone. You set up embassies? Oh
oh
my
my God.
God.
I did, dude.
People in the seashells that you set up the embassies, like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Building collapsed in
Wow,
your
my
lap.
bad. Okay.
This dog shit all over the
Oh
floor.
my God.
God.
Ooh, fuck. So the the rulers could behave almost like rival kings. Okay. They had their own local legitimacy, their own warriors, and their own political gravity. And Macbeth came from this world. His father was Finlach of Moray. So Macbeth's full Gaelic name is Macbethad Macfinlach, literally identifying him as the son of Finlach. All right. Very common in naming conventions back then.
Well, nowadays, if we did that, my name would be Alex, son of fat lazy guy. Yeah. My dad always said, work smart, not hard, and then he'd lay on the couch. Love you, Dad.
That's awesome. Love you, Dad. So Macbeth is not just some random courtier who got a little too ambitious. Okay. He came from a powerful northern dynasty. His rise is rooted in elite violence and regional politics and legitimate competition for power. Now, the Scottish kingship at this time didn't always pass neatly from father to his eldest son. All right, this is not primogeniture in the like later tidy textbook way, right? Different branches of the royal kin could compete. Adult male relatives with royal blood and enough support could make legitimate claims. And the winner often had to combine lineage, military power, alliance, timing, and survival all together. All right. And that brings us to Duncan the First of Scotland. Duncan becomes king in 1034. Duncan was a cool name in the 11th century.
Yeah, not now.
somebody was If somebody was named Duncan now, it'd be like, ugh.
Oh, the worst donuts I've ever had.
Duncan needs nuts.
Right. I'm dunking your mom. By the way, you're out of goldfish. Thanks, stepdad.
Thanks, Duncan. So, Duncan is young, he's very ambitious, and from what we can tell, he was not all that successful militarily. In 1040, Duncan leads a campaign north against Macbeth. And this is where Shakespeare immediately leaves the building, okay? In the play, Macbeth murders Duncan in his sleep while Duncan is a guest under Macbeth's roof. All right? Morally, that is horrifying. It violates hospitality, loyalty, kingship, and it really turns Macbeth into like this damned sinner from the get-go. Okay?
Well,
But that's not
that's
how it goes down.
that's what you get for, being a bad house guest and eating all the goldfish.
This is for all the goldfish.
That's
Jesus
crazy.
Christ.
That's crazy. I like how Shakespeare was
Yeah.
like, Shakespeare's like, I need blood in this story. Shakespeare probably knew a guy that
It's
was a house guest that stayed over that he wanted to stab. He's like, well, I can't do it. I'm gonna write about it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna
probably,
fantasize.
dude. It's like my fucking cousin's over again. And I just want to fucking stab him in his sleep. But that's not what happens, right? Historically, Duncan the First is killed in battle. Okay. And that is completely different when it comes to politics. It's still violent, it's still deadly, and it still has dynastic consequences. But killing a rival king in battle is not the same thing as murdering a guest in your home that happens to be a king, right? So Macbeth defeated Duncan and then becomes king. And he rules for 17 years. All right. And that's a fact that I need to keep coming back to, right?
Did he kill him?
Macbeth was not a weekend usurper. Huh?
Did he kill him when he defeated him?
Yeah. Well, he died in the battle.
Right, okay. He slipped on a rock
Yeah.
in his head.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like that's like, oh, that was easy. Shit.
Yeah.
Like I'm glad I put olive oil on the ground.
Mel Gibson wouldn't take that role.
No, no. Mel Gibson's like, I gotta shit on the Jews. Can you give me a guy that can do that?
Exactly. You can take our lives, but you'll never take our. No!
Just a comedy version. That would have been fun.
That would have been funny. So, throughout Roman history, you see a lot of these usurpers that just kind of pop up and then almost immediately go away, right? Macbeth is not like that. He's not a guy who stole the throne one day and started seeing ghosts the next, right? He governed and he survived. And apparently, he makes a pilgrimage to Rome in about 1050 and he distributes alms there. Okay. Now, a king who can leave for Rome probably has a reasonably stable power structure back at home, right?
Yeah.
It's not perfect. Okay. It's not necessarily uncontested, but it's stable enough. And that really should change how we view him. Okay. The real Macbeth was not Shakespeare's twitchy tyrant stuck up in a castle. Okay. He was a northern ruler who took the throne through battle, held it for years, and remained dangerous even when enemies gathered up against him. So when Siward invades, I'm never going to be able to say that name again without thinking of that.
Yeah.
When Siward invades in 1054, he's not attacking just like a flimsy cartoon villain. He is attacking a serious king. And that makes the invasion more impressive, right? But it makes it more risky and I think much more interesting.
Yeah. Well, it just goes to show you that Seward had confidence. You know what I mean?
He definitely did.
Right. And sometimes
Yeah,
you can have idiotic confidence, right?
very good point. Yep,
Maybe
very
you
good
shouldn't be
point.
confident, right? We were talking earlier about the guy that invented the mirror, right? And before there was mirrors, people just saw the reflection
Yeah,
in water, right? And they're like, oh my
yep,
God, I'm beautiful, right? And then they say the mirror, like, oh God, I've been
yep.
wrong. I've been chasing all these pretty women, and I should have been chasing the trolls down in the basement. You know?
Oh my God, it's so true.
Sounds like me in high
Um,
school.
and oh man, we were all trolls in fucking
It
high
still,
school.
it still happens to
Uh,
me. It still happens to me, and I'm sure it's happened to you, where you're like, "Yeah, I'm feeling good about myself," and you go out with some friends, and then they
mm,
send you pictures the next day, you're like, "Oh my God, I didn't realize my head was that big.
exactly.
Oh God, my nipple. You see it through my shirt. I look like a tribesman in a National Geographic movie, dude. I should move. I should move to a
I've
country
had,
and
I exactly. I've had photos like selfies where I'm like, is my head actually the shape of an eggplant? Like, what the fuck? And then I get people take photos of me from the side, and I'm like, I look like a fucking pear. Like, what
oh
the
God,
fuck?
right. So sometimes, right, you have confidence and then it's too late,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly. And it's a good transition to Seaward. Um, so the
I knew a guy,
invader
I knew a guy
again
that
is
transitioned to C
Seaward. The
word. I used to call him asshole. Now I call him a cunt. Let's see, his name's Jenny now. Used to be Jeff. Jeff the asshole. Now it's Jenny the cunt.
Jesus, Jeff the Dick.
Hey, if you change your
Oh
pronouns
my
in
god.
your package, I'm changing how I call you. You know, got to be polite. He actually got mad at me. I called him an asshole. He's like, I'm a cunt. I'm like, oh, okay. All right.
All right. So, Siward is the Earl of Northumbria. All right. He is one of the most powerful men in England during the reign of Edward the Confessor. And Northumbria is not just a northern administrative district. What?
would never tell a secret to Edward the Confessor. Imagine his friends, one of his friends making that mistake, right? Tells him something in confidence, like, "Hey, man, you know that weird shaped rock? I sat on it. It felt good." Fucking Edward's in the fucking village telling everyone. The friend walks into the pub. Everyone's laughing. Like, God damn it, you fucking confessor.
Oh my god, that's funny as hell. Oh, holy shit. Um, yeah. So Northumbria is a frontier power zone. It sat between the English kingdom and the Scottish world. It was
Okay,
shaped by Anglo-Saxon, Scandinavian, Gaelic, and borderland influences.
okay.
If southern England was the royal court, church politics, and the drama of the great earls, Northumbria was the part of the kingdom where power had to look north every morning and ask, is today the day that we're going to be raided? Or is it
I've
full invasion coming?
I've
Or,
never I've
you know,
never
are we
I've
getting
never
sucked into another campaign?
I've never heard of an earl being great. You know, never met a great earl. Right? It's always a guy with his butt crack showing. You hired him because he's a handyman, right? And all your shit's now fucked up in your house, worse than how it started. Thanks, Earl.
Oh my God, Earl. Earl the Pearl, man. Remember the bowling alley? Earl the
Oh
Pearl.
yeah, oh yeah, yeah.
So, Siward seems to have actually had Scandinavian connections or an identity with the Norse. And that really fits the political world of Northern England. After Canute the Great, which is actually spelled Cnut, fits perfectly in this.
Outrageous,
God.
outrageous, outrageous. That'd be like if my name was spelled Penis. Is it penis? No, 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 no. Penis, penis,
It's
penis.
penis.
Yeah. Shove my penis in you. Shove my penis in your pussy.
Oh my God. Oh. So Canute the Great is the Danish king who had ruled England as part of a North Sea empire, including Denmark and Norway.
Yeah,
By Edward the Confessor's reign, England was still full of powerful men whose names and families and military culture reflected that Anglo Scandinavian world. Siward rose to dominate Northumbria. As the Earl, he could command armies, influence royal decisions, control regional politics, and really shape frontier policy. He was not just a mid-level guy waiting for London to, email him instructions, right? He is one of the men the king had to take seriously. And his frontier position made Scotland his business. If Scotland becomes unstable, Northumbria felt it. If a Scottish king became aggressive, Northumbria became exposed, right? If an exiled Scottish claimant needed support, Northumbria was the obvious staging ground, right? And if England wanted influence north of the border, Siward was the man who would make that policy come to life. Okay. And that claimant was Malcolm Canmore. Malcolm is the son of Duncan the First, the king Macbeth had defeated and killed in 1040. Because Malcolm lived on, Macbeth's claim was never really free from danger. A living claimant is not just a human being, right? It's a banner, an excuse. It's a magnet for dissidents, and it's a really good diplomatic tool. If Scottish nobles don't like Macbeth, Malcolm gave them someone to rally around. And if England wanted influence in Scotland, Malcolm gave England someone to support, right? This is an ancient political formula, right? We are not invading. We are restoring the rightful ruler. You see that shit all the
So,
time. Okay?
so
Every
you,
empire.
you don't like the king. Here's a prime minister. You're gonna love this guy. But really, the king is ruling everything.
Exactly.
But you got this prime minister. He's more the face of the country. Oh, he's great.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes, exactly. It's a puppet. It's a puppet.
Right. Right.
Um, and you see this all throughout history. Everybody has done this, right? And sometimes it's sincere, right? Sometimes they truly are restoring the balance of power, but sometimes it's cynical, okay? And maybe most of the time it's both of those things. Edward the Confessor had reason to care about this. Edward's reign was shaped by really powerful earls, okay? Especially the family of Godwin, who was the Earl of Wessex. And the English king had to manage the ambitions of enormous aristocratic families. And Siward is a part of that world. So a successful northern campaign could strengthen royal prestige and demonstrate true English power, which would then shape the Scottish succession in a way useful to England, right? So when Siward invades Scotland in 1054, this is not like a little border skirmish. Okay. The sources describe a major campaign involving both land and a naval force. Right. It's very important. A combined operation suggests lots of planning, tons of logistical effort. It suggests that Siward wanted more than a quick raid across the border. He wanted to force Macbeth into a major political and military crisis. All right. So, Siward is not just an English general. He is the northern fist of Edward's kingdom. He is a frontier earl with serious military capacity. And in 1054, he points that power right at Macbeth's nuts. And he swings. Okay.
Yeah. Now, with Seaward doing it, is this pissing off anyone?
It's going to make a lot of the other earls kind of take notice, because if he's successful in this, it's going to give him more credibility and power and potentially land and money than the other earls have, right? So it's going to disrupt that as well.
Right. Right. Hey,
Yeah.
better watch it. Don't be a cunt. Yeah.
don't be a Canute.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Crazy.
Yeah. So the question is why does he invade in the first place, right? And the simple answer is to attack Macbeth and support Malcolm. And there's truth to that for sure. But I don't think it tells the whole story, right? There are at least three overlapping motives here: dynastic politics, frontier security, and English influence. Okay. With dynastic politics, Malcolm was Duncan's son. Duncan gets dead by the hands of Macbeth in 1040, right? So Malcolm is this living rival to Macbeth. And again, a claimant is a dangerous thing, right? They can sit quietly for years and still completely distort the politics of a kingdom, because every dissatisfied noble can imagine him as the alternative. every foreign ruler can use him as a justification for intervention,
I mean,
right? And every defeat suffered, huh?
can you imagine someone killing a close family member to you, and you're like, I'm gonna get revenge, but I'm gonna play it out. That's not
Yeah.
realistic. You would fly or drive anywhere they're at and try to kill them. Jail, death, it doesn't matter, right? So the fact that this guy
Yeah.
doesn't do that, and maybe he can't because, politics, army, whatever, but,
Yep.
I would still try to storm even if they see me coming on the horse. The guy wants revenge, But this guy is logically, so he sees Seaward go, he's like, perfect. Doesn't
Exactly.
make him look bad. Doesn't make him look bad. Have someone else go do your dirty work for
Right.
you, you know?
Exactly. That's exactly it. That is at the crux of the point, right?
Right,
That is a huge part of it. It's a justification, right?
right,
But these other points are legitimate too, like frontier security, right? Northumbria and Scotland were tied together geographically. A strong Scottish king could pressure northern England. A divided Scotland might export violence back into England.
right,
An English backed Scottish ruler might actually secure the border or at least make Scotland friendlier to English interests, right?
right,
So
right,
Siward doesn't have to conquer the whole country to make this a useful campaign. So, weakening Macbeth and strengthening Malcolm could be enough. But these are human beings, right? So there's always prestige that you have to take account for, right? Edward the Confessor's kingship was not a smooth sailing event, okay? He ruled amid powerful aristocratic families, including the Godwins. And a campaign in Scotland could demonstrate that the English king and his northern earl could project force beyond their frontier. So a military victory would have symbolic value. It says that England can intervene, right, and punish you and shape the politics of the neighbors. Now, later histories sometimes say that Siward installed Malcolm, all right? But if installed means Malcolm became uncontested king of all Scotland in 1040 or 54, that's way too neat, okay? The reality is always messier. What Siward likely did was advance Malcolm's claim, damage Macbeth, and maybe establish Malcolm in like some territory or status. Okay. Malcolm could have gained a foothold and recognized in a southern region, but later historians simplify that into just very quickly Siward names Malcolm king. All right. But this doesn't go down in like a single afternoon, right? And that's where Shakespeare can be misleading as well. Okay. Shakespeare needs a finale. History doesn't care about the pace of things. The real campaign appears to have been like one stage in a longer struggle. All right. And that's what actually makes it more interesting, I think,
yeah,
because the 1054 invasion is not just a good guy restoration, right?
mm-hmm. I'll listen.
I've lost it. So this is an this is an English-backed intervention in a Scottish succession conflict, right? That's going to be messy as hell. Okay, and think
Yeah,
about what it means for Macbeth. He had ruled for 14 years by this point, and he had survived long enough to make himself more than just a blip on the map. He had a base. He had legitimacy, right? At least among some powerful groups, and he had good enough military resources. He's not going to
well,
just vanish because Malcolm showed up with an English earl.
and as we're leading up here for part two, okay, it is
Mm-hmm.
interesting that, like I said, blind confidence. This guy has everything. It's like
Yeah.
a, smaller football team going into a packed stadium of another team that's way bigger than them, has more guys than them, right? But they're
Yep.
confident. The smaller roster, the smaller guys, they're confident they're gonna win. They have a plan, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know, guy.
Yeah. I mean, Malcolm's presence changed the campaign. If Siward were just raiding, Macbeth could treat him as an external enemy, right?
Right.
But if he's bringing Malcolm, the invasion became domestic and foreign at the same time. So it's not just England versus Scotland. It's not a soccer match, right? It was one Scottish future backed by English power against another Scottish future already wearing the crown. And that's why this battle matters so much, right? It's
And
not just a battlefield, it's a hinge.
well, and it's got to be confusing for the Scottish people, right? Who do they side with,
Yes.
right? So you're starting a
Yep.
disruption with the people, which is a great plan before the actual fighting, because now you have
Right.
confused,
Yeah.
disoriented, some uprising possibly, and pure
Yep.
chaos, which is perfect, right? If you're going into battle, you want to go
Yeah.
into battle at night. You want to go into battle where it's foggy, right? You want to go in where things aren't
Yeah.
clear, you know? You don't want to go
Yeah.
in where
Yeah.
everything's crystal clear, this side, go. You want confusion,
Right.
right? So,
Yeah. Absolutely.
you know what?
Absolutely. Yeah. And
You know
it's and
what?
this is that.
This is cool. Fuck Shakespeare. I mean, come on. He could have made a great story out of this. I'm already invested, and this is just part one. I can't wait for part two, which will
Yeah.
be recorded soon. But I like to leave the people hanging.
Yep.
And I have no clue. I don't read,
Yeah,
so
man.
I'm
No,
looking
this is
forward to this. Um,
yeah. Yeah,
right?
this is a great place to stop. It's we're not at the end of Macbeth. We're not at the beginning of Malcolm. This is the moment where the balance starts to shift. So this is a great place to start to stop, and then we'll pick up for part two here in a couple days.
All right, sounds great. Always good seeing your freckled peach face, and stay black, my friend. And I will stay fat as always. I will not trim the beard. I like my face looking like a outside cat, that's been living in a train station.
It looks like a great tomato growing like the fuzz being left out too long.
If I go like this, I look like a fucking Confederate soldier. I look like a president. Yeah, they shouldn't have rights. I like owning them.
Oh my God. You
Look
look
like
like
I'm.
the bad guy in Sonic.
Would you buy a phone for me if I worked at Verizon? Look at my. Looks like I shoved my dick in a electric socket. Can you imagine going on a first date? A chick just walks in, oh, telling her friends, "Oh, I can't wait to meet this guy," and they show up. Hello, good evening. Thank you for meeting me at
Oh
Applebee's.
my God.
I might rock this. This is actually pretty dope. This is pretty freaking dope, dude.
Oh my God. Hey, man, it might be a new look. Who knows?
I could start it.
And so, another chapter closes on the smouldering front lines, as our heroes with questionable aim and even more questionable life choices roll off into the haze once more. Historians may never fully understand what happened here today. Some say it was strategy, others say it was stupidity. Most agree it was probably the snacks. If you've survived this broadcast with your sanity intact, consider enlisting. Follow the show, share it with a fellow soldier, and prepare for the next mission. Until next time, stay alert, stay armored, and stay baked. This is Baked Battlefields, signing off.